This is where are we, man?
I don't know, man. Dude,
This is in the studio.
it's definitely not Turn 3 Studios. Are we in Miami?
We hope, we wish, but no.
No, we wish. We definitely not in Miami. We're in Mitchell Sports Bar here in San Antonio, Texas. We are joined by the San Antonio F1 fans group. We're gonna have some of them come in and sort of tell us what they think is gonna happen during the race and stuff like that. So stay tuned for some fun and let's have a good time, man.
Yeah, I'm super excited, and yeah, let's get some questions asked for sure.
All right, let's do it.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
All right, what's your name?
Charles.
Charles. Who's your favorite team, Charles?
Favorite team right now is going to be obviously Red Bulls for me. Yeah.
Of course, man. Look.
Yeah, there you
Well,
go.
so here's what happened. I used to be a Red Bull fan, and then they got rid of Checo, so they kind of lost
yeah,
it.
Cadillac, right?
Yeah.
There
Well,
we go.
hopefully,
hopefully.
yeah. But yeah, still a Red Bull fan then.
Yeah.
Okay,
for sure.
Yuki or Max?
I really wish. I hope to see Yuki in the top 10 for sure.
I think we all do. I think collectively, I think we
yeah.
all do. All right, and for what's the last question is who's gonna win today?
Right now, you know what? I'm gonna say Piastri. I think he's gonna overtake him right now in the
That's
first
what I'm
lap.
talking about, dude. That's what I'm going for now, sir. I gotta give you one of these, okay? All right, man. Thanks for doing this. I'll see you.
Hi, I'm Jason, and I'm one of the guys who helps with organizing these watch parties in San Antonio. If you have never been, please come. We try to do a lot. Like, we're trying to grow the community in San Antonio, so looking forward to having everyone here.
Thank you very much. The
worries.
first question, favorite team?
McLaren. I mean, I usually am always in McLaren gear, but we're embracing the let's go. But we're embracing the Miami team for today. But I still found something orange, so McLaren definitely.
That works.
All time.
Now, a little bit more difficult question. What's the favorite driver?
So I like both Lando and Oscar, and I'm one of those guys. You know, I prefer Lando, but if Oscar's winning, I'm all for McLaren. McLaren comes first.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. So last question, and it's almost the same question. Who's gonna win today?
I mean, Lando probably. He's got a better position. Max does not have race pace. Maybe he does. We don't know. Maybe he's hiding something. You know, Red Bull. He's always able to pull so much out of that Red Bull. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's Max. But an interesting fact is, Paul has never won at Miami ever. So hey, maybe Lando.
Lando again.
Yeah, there
Another
you go.
year for him.
Super excited about it.
Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you
All right,
very much
thank
for
you.
joining us.
Thank you.
My name's Giselle.
Hi, my name's Joaquin.
And I'm Jose.
I love it. Okay, and I see the Ferrari shirts. Is that the favorite team?
Yeah.
Still?
Mine is.
Okay.
What's yours? McLaren.
McLaren, let's go, man.
And I'm a Mercedes guy.
Mercedes. I'm sorry for all of your losses. So what are the predictions? Who do you think is going to win today?
I'm kind of leaning towards either Matt's, kind of, because
That's always a good bet. It's
Yeah.
definitely always a good bet.
And I got Kimi. Let's go.
There you go. He did get
Vamos,
pulled before,
Kimi.
so.
I feel like either it's going to be Mercedes or Red Bull.
Okay, any of the four drivers. Yeah, I like it.
Alex, and I just now recently got introduced to F1.
Oh, that's great. So, do you have a favorite team right now?
Not currently. I'm
Not
still
currently?
starting to know him.
Okay. What about a pilot? Do you like a driver?
Hamilton's pretty nice.
Hamilton?
I like Hamilton.
Nice. And last question for today. Who do you think is going to win?
Based on right now, I think it's gonna be Max.
Max, that's always a good answer. That's always
We're
a good
here with
Linda.
one of the founders of the group. We have some questions for you before the Miami Grand Prix. Who's your favorite driver?
My favorite driver on the grid is Yuki. My favorite all-time driver is Checo Perez.
Who knew? A favorite team?
Favorite team right now is kind of hard. It's very hard right now. My favorite driver on the team is Max Verstappen.
Yes.
So I'm still partial to Red Bull, but just due to the driver.
Yeah. Perfect.
And of course, Yuki. So.
It's understandable. It's a great team for sure. Last question. Who do you think is going to win today?
I think Max wants it.
Max wants it?
Max wants it.
And when he wants it, he'll get it.
Get it. And he is daddy today, so.
Well, thank you very much.
Let's go, Oscar!
Welcome back to Turn 3, guys. Another eventful weekend
Super exciting, man.
Very exciting. Lots to talk about, right?
There's too much to talk about, man. We don't honestly like we have too. It's too much. Like
much to
because
talk about.
I think it's because it's a sprint weekend, right? But like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it was
Just
full of events.
so much action, so much to talk about. But before we get into that, we wanted to give a special shout out to the San Antonio F1 fans group.
Yes, thank you very much to the group for inviting us this weekend to the watch party. Every race weekend they try to organize a group of people get together and watch the party watch the race as a Formula One fans, of course. Yeah. My favorite part was the Lawson Piñata. They had like a really good at the end of the race. They had like a piñata with Lawson with a bunch of candy and some prizes for all the people that went.
Feel free to check the description for more details on Mitchell's and also on the San Antonio F1 fans group. Again, just a great place to be and go watch the races. So thanks again for having us, and we look forward to seeing you at the next watch party.
So this weekend, first of all, spring weekend, which is a little bit different to our regular, right? Man, it was so amazing. It was like, let's start in the beginning. Let's start with the sprint, right?
Sure.
First of all, Antonelli, big surprise, pole position, even though he couldn't capitalize on that. But amazing how an 18-year-old is fighting with 7 world time champion, 4 world time champion, 3-time world champion, against
and the next world champion, probably.
Future, probably. Exactly, in the front with him on the
absolutely.
sprint. So
it was super surprising to see him get that pole position for the sprint on the sprint qualies. Very impressive drive. And I don't think anybody really truly expected, that. Like it feels like it came out of nowhere.
I think everybody is thinking that he's a great driver. His time will come, but no one expected that from him on this weekend, on a sprint weekend, which is harder for the drivers, to be honest. So amazing for 18 years old. Again, 18 years old. What were you doing at 18 years old? Were you winning pole positions in the Miami Grand Prix? No,
definitely not.
I wasn't. I know for sure I wasn't.
Yeah. It's incredible how you can have such a great qualifying session and then just a not so good start to the race.
Yeah.
Like you said, he wasn't able to capitalize on it. His first, I think it was turn 1 in the sprint race. He ended up going a little bit too wide and losing, I think it was like 3 positions or something like that. So kind of unfortunate that we didn't see more from him. It was also a really complicated sprint race. There was a lot of rain. I mean, it was, speaking of rain, like even Charles Leclerc, right, during the during that the recon lap,
the formation lap during oh my god, like to be honest, I started to watch it late, so when I got to the TV and I put it like the sprint was already started, right? And then I noticed like Charles Leclerc was out, like there were 19 drivers, and I was like, what happened? What did I miss? Like I saw the start and I didn't see him. So later I found out about the formation lap, and because he was too wet, I think he said aquaplane, which is when there's no control. The car pretty much is like a boat. It's in the water, and he crashed. Like,
at that point, there's no stopping it. I mean, it's too hard, and especially because they have slick wheels, right? So it's just impossible to stop something like that. You would need like the treads that we have like on our cars and stuff. So yeah, it's unfortunate. It's also happened. I feel like it's a little bit of deja vu. I think it's happened before.
Well, it's part of Formula One, right? We have like everybody loves a race when it's raining.
Yeah.
Even though we know for sure it could be more crashes and more casualties for sure, but it's also more exciting for everybody, for the fans for sure. The drivers not so much. They don't like it because maybe some, but most of them they're like, no, I like it dry. I like to have the control.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess, I mean, like I said, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I was about to jump ahead to the end, but I'm gonna let's hold off on that because I'm a little bit sad at the outcome of there. But let's talk about the what do you think? The Max and that unsafe release.
Again, Kimi Antonelli, great position where he was. There, Max goes into the pits. Antonelli is behind him, goes into the pit. They unsafe release from the team part. They leave Max out, and he crashes with Antonelli. And Antonelli couldn't do his pit stop, so he had to continue with
The same old tires.
with old tires, and he lost time because of going into the pits, because there's like a top speed in the pit lane. So yeah, unfortunate, again, not Max's fault. It's the team in this case, and yeah, during this season they have like a couple of mistakes, so there's like some work to do right there.
For sure. And especially when Max is fighting to stay ahead in the leaderboard, it's such an unfortunate thing because he gets a 10-second penalty. And, obviously that puts him down. Like, he was in 4th or 5th position, and all of a sudden he's, outside of points because of the 10-second penalty. So
Correct.
Really unfortunate. Something that could have been avoided, right? You hold him back for a little bit longer, let Antonelli get in, and then you let him go.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunate. But speaking of pit lanes, I think that's a good transition or good segue into let's talk about what happened at the end, because again, I'm very sad about it, right? As an Oscar Piastri fan, and as somebody who wants him to do, I want him to win every single race.
Yeah.
Here's what I think is that so I think it's like lap 14, 13, something like that. Towards the end of the sprint, Lawson doing Lawson things. That's why we had that piñata.
Yeah.
With Lawson's face on it. Sorry, Lawson.
Well deserved. To be honest. Yeah. You're not there to make friends.
Lawson crashes against Alonso, brings out a safety car, right?
Yes.
Okay. It was almost like perfect timing for Lando Norris to pit, right? He had gone into the pit already, and then the safety car comes out like almost immediately after he goes in. And that means that Piastri has to slow down. So he wasn't able to take back the position that he had lost when he pitted earlier in the sprint. I think he would have.
Yes.
I think I don't think there was enough time for Lando to pit and stay ahead. So I think we would have seen another Piastri win for the sprint. Or rather, we would have seen Piastri win the sprint.
Yeah.
But I think that Lawson caused Piastri not to win, which is just another reason for us to put his face on a piñata.
Yeah. No, for sure. It was, again, it's part of Formula One. That's why we have it. Unfortunately for Oscar, it was a blessing for Lando, right? Because I'm pretty sure he wasn't expecting to win in the sprint, and then it was given to him again. Because this thing, I think it also happened last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Unfortunate for Oscar, but great for McLaren. I'm pretty sure Zach Brown is super happy with a 1-2 on the sprint. So, they're doing great. They're dominating the season for sure. On my head, McLaren is gonna most likely take the championship for the team championship.
Yeah, I think it's almost. I don't think anybody would disagree with you.
Yeah.
However, last year Red Bull started very dominant, and then McLaren came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So anything could happen. It's Formula One. I think it's too soon to tell.
That's why we like it so much. But we need another team to bring some awesome upgrades. I would say like super good upgrades, so they can actually fight with the McLarens, because like I used to hear the Red Bulls are on a league on their own. Now I think it's the McLaren in their league on their own.
A league of their own. Yeah, for sure. Before we move on to the race, is there anything else for the sprint? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot, but
there's probably a lot. But I think that's like that takes the whole cake for sure. Those were the main moments of the race. Again, McLaren taking the win for both of them. So yeah.
So then let's move on to the race, right?
Yes.
Max doing Max things. He clinched pole. I don't know how that happens,
and
but
not
did.
with the best car. Again, Max doing Max things.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we have Piastri, and then Lando, I believe, is in P3.
Correct.
The start of the race, super exciting, right?
Again, turn one, like most of the times, they go and it's 3 cars trying to do the turn. Of course, one of them goes white, which in this case Lando against Max again. I don't know if it's something special with those two. Like they fight a little bit harder between each other or something. Because what I'm seeing is Oscar, which he hasn't had all the fights with Max as Lando, but he actually can read Max pretty good, and he's actually beating him in right now. So I don't know. Maybe there's something there going on. Maybe it's on Lander's head. Like I just can't beat Max. It could be meant. I have no idea, but yeah.
No, I'm just gonna agree with you and kind of echo the same thing. Is I don't know how the times that we've seen Lando and Max go like head to head, it's always like sometimes it leads to a crash, or it's just like it's almost like it's chaos every time they go. And I feel like when the times that we've seen where Piastri and Max are sort of fighting, which had happened in this race, right? Like if we fast forward, sort of, I think it's like in I don't know, like something.
No,
like
it was all along. It was like Oscar catching up with Max, and then just
chipping away, chipping away at that gap until he was finally. And I think it took him like 10, 15 laps, something like that. I don't remember. But eventually he caught up to him, and it's funny because we were at the watch party, we were watching it, and we're saying Max is just so good at defending. Like he clearly doesn't have a better car. Like the McLaren has the best car right now. And he's doing whatever he can to fend off Oscar. And it was working for a very long time. It was only a matter of time, but it took him a pretty long time.
We heard the engineer, GP, coming on the radio and telling Max, like, make him work for it, like, defend the inside line, because that was the powerful line. And that's what he was doing, because even though he doesn't have the fastest car, whenever he was defending the inside lane, Oscar couldn't pass him, couldn't overtake him, and that was it. But at some point, again, like you were saying, Oscar, the robot, Piastri, of course, he was chipping away and waiting for his moment, He was just like, okay, I'll try left. It doesn't work. I'm going to try right. It didn't work until it did work, and he had the pace. It was the straight, DRS, faster car, and went away. Oh, I think Max was trying to stop him in the inside lane.
The inside,
but I think he tried to brake, and because he was just trying to block him, and the brakes didn't handle really well, and he went out.
Yeah, and that's something that we kind of heard throughout the race as well, as Max saying like, I'm having trouble controlling the car or something like that. So again, I just the car sort of not behaving the way Max is used to, or I'm not sure exactly.
It's a little bit funny, right? Because whenever he's winning the races, the car is great, it's awesome and everything. And when he's not winning, the first thing is like, this car, the brakes are not working. So,
that's so funny,
I guess it depends. If you ask him, it depends on where he is in the grid, I guess.
Yeah. And we kind of made that joke, right? Whenever when Oscar passed him, when he was finally able to do the overtake, we said before, we were like, he's gonna blame the car. Watch, and sure enough,
right
he comes
away
on the radio. Yeah, so it was pretty funny to see that. And, I guess the predictability of the complaints and stuff. But so
again, Oscar,
they're in a rocket ship, and from then on, he just kind of maintained. After the overtake, they disappeared. Or he disappeared.
And again, like you said, the race is still not over, right? He was still keeping the tires in a good place and chipping away from everybody else. At the end, I think it was remind me, 30 seconds, or I don't know.
Piastri from P3, which was Russell, there was like 37 seconds, I think.
Oh my God. Yeah. For Formula One, that, if you don't know, for Formula One, that's a lot. Like, that's years.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, it's we were looking at Piastri and then Norris. Spoilers. They get to the finish line, they get off the car, and like almost a minute later, the Russell's car comes and parks, and so it's a big distance, and it's very it's a meaningful. So
it just shows you like how the McLaren team and they have the best car right now.
For sure.
Again, a league of their own.
Yeah. And this is a lot like, again, we go back to Max's domination in 2023, right? Like this was very commonplace for Max's. He would win the race by 20 plus seconds or something like that. And that's not true anymore.
Yeah. Don't know. It's a complete 180 from McLaren. Again, Zach Brown, great job. He brought the team like from a losing streak now to most winning a constructor championship last year, and probably this year and another constructor championship, and maybe a drivers champions. We don't know exactly who, but it's most likely.
Isn't it crazy? If you told me at the beginning of last year that McLaren was going to win the Constructors' Championship, like probably 2 years in a row, and that one of their drivers was going to be the championship driver,
I wouldn't believe it.
I wouldn't believe it either.
Yeah.
It's just nuts to me.
And that's what's great about Formula One, right? Like it's unpredictable at some point.
Yeah.
I'm excited about 2026 too. New rules, new cars. So it could be, that Haas, for whatever reason, makes the better car in the 2026 and they're winning championship,
Ferrari engine, maybe, right?
Could be.
Yeah, for sure. It's also going to be, so the new regulation, the new cars, they're going to be smaller. And I think it's the engine, from what I've read, is going to be more important than, the chassis and the car, like the aerodynamics or whatever. So it might be, it's anybody's game at this point. It's totally new regulations.
Yeah.
And there's a cost cap now too. So like the development is
Should,
they're on equal footing, right?
Yeah. Should. In a perfect world, they should, but we know for sure it's not exactly like that. But they're trying to make it like everybody's in the same play field for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got? There was speaking of unpredictability and craziness, they promised us rain, and there was no rain.
There was no rain. We were waiting for the rain. Again, I know the drivers don't like it. The fans, I think we love it if there's some rain, because it creates opportunity for the underdogs. It creates maybe crashes that hopefully no one gets hurt, but hopefully. For sure, you need to go. If it's too hard, you need to go to the pit lanes to make a change in the tires. So it changes the whole dynamic. If you're thinking like, oh, it's set on a stone, like this person is gonna win or something, rain can change everything.
Yeah, for sure.
But
because we're talking about like tire strategies or pit stop strategies that just go completely in different directions when there's a safety car. Safety car comes out, everybody has. It's almost like a free pit stop. Usually you'll see that in races, right? Safety car comes out and like 10 people go into the pit lane. So
yeah.
It changes strategies. It changes the mostly like outcomes of races and stuff. I was kind of excited, at least me personally, when they said it looks like rain. I heard I forgot
lap 17 from turn 17 or something.
And they said it was like heavy rain. So
and then nothing happened.
Yeah, nope, nothing happened.
So yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm still happy with the outcome.
Yeah,
right. I'm still happy with it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what else we got? What else happened?
We had some drama with the Ferraris, right? We can talk about that, right? There was some drama there with Charles Hamilton, and for me, it's the team.
Sure.
It's not so much the drivers, because they are. We need to remember they are driving at 300 kilometers per hour. They have their body is full of adrenaline, so they're not gonna be super nice to you on the radios, or they're gonna say it. Oh, I'm gonna say it politically correct to my engineer. No, they're just gonna say whatever they thinking in the moment.
Yeah, it's like you said, heat of the moment.
Yeah,
I don't have time to think about the nice way of saying this.
Yeah,
and we did see a lot of that. I think from both of them really. But I don't know. Do you want to sort of explain?
Yeah, a little bit. First of all, I want to say it's probably one of the best races. If we go back to the radio messages, I think it's one of the best for sure. Throughout all of the teams. I
agree. I am a father of two, and their behavior was a lot like my children. The way that they fight. It's almost like passive aggression a little bit, just the way that they were saying. So
like one of the great Hamilton phrases, it was what was it? It was, do you want me to let him pass too? So referring to another
Yeah, so
referring to Sainz, I think, with the Williams. Yeah.
So just for context, right? We have Leclerc was ahead, Hamilton was behind, and he had fresher tires.
Yeah.
So in theory, they say he's asking for the swap in positions so that he can capitalize and maximize on the tire usage and stuff like that. The team, I don't know. Okay, the team took 3 laps or something like that to make that decision, to make that call. And then they finally do say swap positions. But by then, his fresher tires were 3 laps older, right? I don't know. I don't know if that kept Hamilton from performing. But then afterwards, towards the end of the race, they say, okay, it's only fair, give the position back. And so he does. And then, they come on the radio again and they say, the gap behind you is Carlos Sainz, 1.4 seconds.
Yeah.
And he goes like, do you want me to let him pass?
Yeah. Yeah. No, again, it was funny phrase for sure. But again, I'm not sure. I think it was the team.
Okay.
I think they like you said, they took too long, but why would you? Again, if you have a strategy, stick to it. And I don't know if it was the pressure from the drivers that they maybe decided to make a change, but yeah, they need to make a better job for sure.
So we were watching the race together, and we heard Hamilton say something like, "This isn't good teamwork, right? Like, why aren't you guys letting me through or whatever?" And we kind of collectively, like, as we said, like, pass him. Yeah, like if if you're better, or rather, if you're faster, then pass him.
Yeah.
Why are you depending on the team to make the swap, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's something like Scarlet rules, like papaya rules. Maybe there's like Scarlet rules or something.
Who knows? We haven't heard about it. So.
No. But so I don't know. Maybe there was an order not to race, right? Maybe not to risk it. They were in a good position. They were in 7th and 8th. So maybe it was like, we care more about scoring points than we do about, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But potentially, maybe they weren't allowed to race. But I don't we haven't heard that, and they're pretty open about things like that. So I don't know. It could have been anything really.
Yeah. Again, I think it was the team not making a fast decision, like you said. Maybe he could have changed the things. I think Hamilton with the fresher tires, with the medium tires, maybe could have catch the other guys. But again, maybe it's the car. Maybe just the car is not fast enough, and they've been having some issues. Charles wasn't happy with the car either, so there's some work that for them. I think they're losing the fight against the rival on this season with Mercedes. I think Mercedes was on top of Ferrari for this race.
Yeah, but it has been sort of a pattern, right? Like it's just, I think that Mercedes has more consistently been scoring points. And I think that Ferrari have been just struggling to do anything meaningful. So, it's, again, maybe they come with upgrades. Maybe something happens. Maybe the synergy gets better amongst the team.
Hopefully.
But here's maybe a crazy question. Do you think Hamilton regrets leaving Mercedes?
Ooh. Oh, that's great. That's great.
That's a good question.
Oh my God. I think right now he does.
Okay.
I think we'll see in the future because there's still upgrades coming, right? But Mercedes is looking strong, and we could also see it on the engine side, because we also saw Williams also dominating this race, or doing better than they are used to, and they have a Mercedes engine.
That's right.
So if we're talking about 2026, where the engines are going to be
more
better,
important, yeah.
I think Mercedes and Williams are going to have an advantage next year.
That's right.
And Ferrari, I think that it's Ferrari and Haas, and I don't know if there's another team with the Ferrari engine, and they're not looking so hot right now.
Yeah. In fact, who was it that came out with their engine blew up, the power unit?
Ollie Behrman. And a Ferrari engine there.
Ferrari engine. And you brought it up during the race. You guys, does this represent what could happen to the Ferraris? And I go, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's the same power unit. So
supposedly, it's supposed to be. I'm pretty sure there's a little differences because of connections for each car. But mainly, like talking about 95% of the engine, it should be the same engine.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great question. It's a very valid question. It's not one that I had thought of, but it's a very valid question.
I think he regrets it a little bit right now. I
think so too. I if anything more for the communication, I think say what you will about Mercedes and their performance. I feel like after over 10 years with Hamilton and on the team, they knew how to communicate and stuff. And so yeah, I think that there is a little bit of regret. But also $100 million.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe there's not much room for regret there.
I think he has made a lot of money during his Mercedes time, so I don't think that was the issue.
It's also not nothing though.
No, I understand it. It makes a difference, but I think for Hamilton, he was like, I still want to win.
Okay.
And I think he was like, Ferrari is going to give me the best chance to win. And it's not right now.
No.
I think Mercedes might have. But also, it's like, well, it's not like they gave him. I don't remember what happened with the Kimi. I don't know if he didn't sign the same deal or he wanted more or that. I don't remember exactly. But yeah. I don't know if they
You're saying
asked
that
him like, "Oh, do you want to stay?" Or it
I
was
see.
just like, "Oh, your contract is over, so we're gonna miss you."
I see what you're
I
saying.
don't remember, to be honest.
I think it was, if I remember the order of events correctly, it was, Hamilton made the decision to leave to Ferrari, and then they started looking at an option. But at least that's what they put out to the public.
It's all on him then.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, it I don't know. There's a lot of discussions that happen behind closed doors and stuff like that. So.
Yes, that we don't know.
Okay.
Invite us one time. Please.
Yeah, I want to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, I want.
Yeah. What else we got? So I do want to go back to again the McLarens, right?
Yes.
1 and 2, and a very dominating 1 and 2.
Yeah.
We're officially at the quarter of the season. We're 25% complete with the season. If anybody is going to come and take the position or put the fight to the McLarens, it has to be now. Like it has to happen immediately.
Yeah. I think we will see a lot of it on the next race, which is Monza.
Okay.
A lot of the teams are expected to bring a bunch of upgrades. That's where we'll see whoever has maybe a chance to fight with the McLarens, maybe. But I'm pretty sure the McLaren is gonna bring more upgrades too, so they're not gonna give their position to anyone right now.
Yeah, no, for sure.
No, that's perfect. I'm excited for next race for sure. Yeah, Italy, Monza. Do you want to start it? Okay, we can go back to the predictions from last time.
Oh, that's right.
So, editor, if you do me the favor, I think it's 3
points for me
right now. Which I think I'm gonna let you do the predictions by yourself from now on. I think it's unfair to me.
To put you through the embarrassment.
Yeah. It's gonna be 12-0 at the end of the season, man. Everybody's gonna make fun of me. It's like you're the one that's supposed to know a little bit more about Formula One.
Yeah. So it's okay. It's funny you bring that up.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm gonna go a little bit
different
this time around. I'm gonna make
get
crazier
it
predictions.
Right. You're gonna get
maybe,
it right.
Man, potentially.
Oh my god. Hate you so much. I'm kidding.
I went first last time. I think it's only fair that you go first.
Okay. I'll do it.
But I will give you a hint. I don't think Piastri is gonna win. But that's all I'm gonna say. That's my Piastri.
I like it. I think I'm gonna say first of all, Monza is a fast. So
sure.
I do think it's gonna be the McLarens that are gonna win. I'm gonna give it to Lando, Oscar, and I'm gonna give it to Russell.
Interesting.
P3. I think Mercedes has a great car right now. Again, I'm what I said. Maybe Max will be in the fight, but I think Mercedes with a fast track could do something good.
Okay. You ready for my prediction?
I'm out for it.
Verstappen wins.
Oh.
He comes back with a vengeance.
Always a possibility.
Oh, it's never not in the cards, right?
You can never discard Max Verstappen. Yeah.
So it's going to be Max Verstappen and then McLaren 2-3. So Piastri and then Lando.
Okay. I was hoping that you say Lando so we could see a Max Lando fighting for a 1-2. But I like it either way.
Yeah. No, I think it'll be. I hope to see more Max and Piastri. But honestly, I think what I'm more interested in seeing is a Lando Piastri battle.
Yeah,
I want to see both of their skill, like just next to each other.
And we haven't seen it, to be honest. We haven't seen them actually fight for the position for a win between them. There's always like, oh, they're fighting Max or they're fighting someone else.
That's right.
Or they're fighting themselves because of mistakes from the team or
sure.
whatever. Or the elements. We have rain and stuff like that. So, yeah, I agree with you. I would like to see that for sure.
Especially because, so, okay, if we think about Piastri's ahead right now in the championship, and he has propelled himself a little bit more with this win in Miami. But if it wasn't for, what was it, Australia, where he wasn't in the points, he had that little mishap and he went off. Yeah, he'd be way, way, way ahead of everybody else. And so I think they're very, very, like they're pretty close.
We go back to the consistency that you have saying, the Oscar consistency, I think is the key of him winning the championship. I think even if he doesn't win all of the races, like it's only Max Verstappen could accomplish that years ago. But if he stays in the podium, if he stays in the points and always being there, he's gonna, because now they need to catch him. They need to pass him. They need to beat him. Like if Lando wants to win the championship, he needs to be ahead of Oscar pretty much every race. It doesn't matter one or two positions. He always needs to be ahead of Oscar.
Exactly.
Now the pressure is on them.
I will say one thing though. They're close enough in points, Lando and Piastri, that one DNF will put them right there. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not over by any means. The championship is still on.
25% of the season.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot to go.
75% is still off. Again, a lot.
A lot to go. But if things continue the way that they have been, obviously it goes without saying Oscar's going to be our next champion, but there's still a lot of season left, and I feel going back, I want to see both driver skills, and I'm talking about Lando and Piastri. Like I want to see the skill. Like how do they? We've seen Piastri and Max, and we've seen Lando and Max, and how they react to somebody as aggressive as Max, but like amongst themselves, I mean, I don't know.
We haven't seen it, to be honest. It would be great. I always ask you this question: if we put all the drivers in the same cars, who's gonna be the winner? In this case, we're watching two of the best drivers in the best car, right? It's not like other teams where one was better than the other. No, they're both pretty much equal in driving skills, I would say, and they have the best cars. So yeah, it's for them to show us. I want to imagine them fighting. There's no excuse, right? Oh, you have a better car. You have a faster car. No,
nope. It's all the same.
It's the same car.
Yep.
If I win, I'm the better driver. That's what it means.
But they'll never do that, right? I mean, it'll never happen.
Well, who knows? The papaya rules might come into place, but again, if you were almost, I don't know, 5 or 10 laps before winning the race, and you have your teammate behind you, wouldn't you want to pass him even if they tell you no? Like, I think all the drivers want to win, even if it's their teammate or not.
For sure. Especially if it's your teammate, I think you want to do better than them, right? Everybody wants to be the number one driver for whatever team. But yeah, it'll be good.
Exciting for next race for sure.
I'm excited about my prediction. I think it's a good prediction.
You send me a curveball for sure, but I think for whatever reason you're gonna win again. I don't know. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm 0 here.
Also, completely curveball, another curveball. No Checo news.
No
what
Checo.
happened?
Oh my god,
dude! I was so excited.
No, I wasn't.
That's true. You did, and I should have listened to you. I got excited. I got my hopes up, and Cadillac promised me. Well, they didn't promise me.
No.
There was rumors.
Rumors. Who knows who started those rumors?
Yeah, I don't know who started them. Whoever they are, I'm very upset with them because I was expecting Checo news this weekend. No Checo news.
No Checo news.
So,
I'm still waiting.
Tears.
Still waiting. I'm still hoping, but I'm not getting excited until it's official from the Aztec King.
The Aztec King.
He has to come out from the pyramids and tell their people, I'm back.
I'm back. Okay.
I'm a Cadillac now.
I'm going to learn from you and from Oscar Piastri. No emotion.
No emotion.
Just
robot.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's perfect, man.
Awesome. I think that's a good place to stop.
I think that's great.
Thanks again for watching us, guys. We'll see you in the next race.
Super excited for Monza. Thank you so much. Shout out again to the San Antonio Formula One fans. Thank you so much for inviting us to the watch party again.
Thanks again. Like you said, thanks again. And we look forward to seeing you at the next watch party. Thanks, guys.